Good morning and welcome, Teddy Petrowski and Debbie Valentine Smith. It's so good to be here with you today. I'm Pat Beaupre Becker, and we're going to talk about the new book, JingJin Yoga. What actually is JingJin Yoga?
Well, it's a combination of the meridians in Chinese medicine that nourish the muscles, which are actually not very well used in the field, except for body workers. We use them all the time. And it's a combination of those meridians that carry the energy to the muscles with yoga postures that also put the muscles in position for the energy to flow more freely.
It's kind of a new approach to blending the science of yoga with the science of Chinese medicine.
What exactly is the approach?
You want to keep it moving. We've done 6 stretches that you can do daily to keep the fascia all over the body supple and really hydrated and energized. And as you do that, you smooth out the kinks in the fascia.
Why would someone choose to do this?
It can help with just a regular practice of staying supple, but it also can help with specific strains, sprains, help to heal. And opening the fascia also opens the blood flow and the lymph flow as well. So it's also, yoga has been seen to help with the immune system, with helping for a better immune response, and certainly relaxation and overall health. One of the things that's really important to recognize around fascia is that when there are kinks, when there's things that are frozen, for instance, like frozen shoulder, or people have muscle tension that's chronic, when the fascia gets stuck, if you start yanking on it, it's going to yank back, and that's when tears happen. So this process is like pulling taffy. You know how when you pull taffy, you have to go very slowly? So it's that kind of awareness, working with these meridians and yoga postures to find the pattern and the speed at which you can start to open those kinks. Then the body will work with you. If you start trying to force it, it's going to react, especially if there's an injury. It's going to react because it's been injured there before. So this is a major part of the approach also. There's a lot of interest right now. Fascia is a big topic because everybody's discovering that since it surrounds every muscle fiber, every bone, every organ, everything is connected to each other by the fascia. Fascia is what holds things in position, but also connecting the muscle to the bone so that the muscle's contraction actually affects the bone. One of my teachers used to say everything is triple wrapped in fascia, 3 layers of fascia. And they're all interconnected, which also explains the theory of Chinese medicine of the meridian, how we get from the large intestine meridian in the arm to the large intestine organ. The pathway is through that connection in the fascia.
So when we get those kinks, it affects not just the local part, it affects the whole of the body. And that's why those hand-foot meridians, the fascia runs along and the JingJin run along, help to open the body and get that fascia unstuck. But in a way that makes it very freeing rather than forcing. And that's what's also nice too when you think about it, that you can be stretching here, but again, you might not be able even to touch here. You're in spasm or you're have so much discomfort. We call that, go in Chinese medicine, around the mouth of the dragon. So using those distal points and not the local points that are so sensitive and tender can just help open the body in a way that is profound, really.
Well, that's also part of what is all up now is trauma, right? Is people are talking all the time about trauma and triggers for trauma. The biggest triggers for trauma are in the body. When something reminds the body of some physical thing that was connected to a trauma, the body reacts as though that trauma is happening again. So you certainly don't want to trigger it with your body work or with your yoga practice. You want to approach it very carefully, very kindly, very gently. And that's what this does.
I do have to confess, I was using it. I have a condition at the moment, radiculopathy, and I have been using just the imagery, and it's really making me think more about how my body can heal itself if I just kind of allow it to flow, which I really appreciate. So I recommend it for people who have injuries as well.
I think that's a good point, Pat, because in yoga and Eastern healing arts, acupressure, shiatsu, we talk about that whole mind body connection. And when you do this, you connect to the breath, and the breath is a very crucial part of it, but also that imagery and having that awareness that you go inward and really become the witness to what is going on within you. Like you said, I'm really starting to pay attention more. Less is more, right? With this, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not like you have to strain or pull. It's really the opposite. You really want to make sure you tune in to what makes sense to you and really follow that path.
The imagery that we've written, very specific guided imagery, which helps you to focus on the path of the energy flow. So we give you instructions from fingertip to toe about how to direct your mind.
This is a self-care practice that's very nurturing for yourself that you can do along with being in a class with other people too. So it has both advantages.
It's also very good for bodywork practitioners. Be aware of these pathways as they're working with people. Certainly Asian bodywork therapists, shiatsu practitioners, and acupressurists, but also massage therapists. I've had many massage therapists in my classes who said that this way of working with these meridians, the non-attacking, non-challenging way of working, actually, in a lot of instances, gets them deeper than deep muscle work because the body is resisting and it's helping to open.
Right. When you go in that fight or flight, like somebody's touching a spot that maybe is painful for you, what's your automatic like tighten up? Well, this is the opposite. We again go around that and find the places where we can start to get things to open in a very gradual, progressive manner that's very freeing, not just for the muscles and the tendons and the fascia, but also for the person. They don't have to hold on to that pain, that discomfort.
It's all about being kind to your body.
So to use the idea of the flow and the connection and releasing is very powerful in its simplicity.
Yeah, also the imagination part of it too, because a part of the technique is rather than, for instance, like if you're opening one of the meridians in the arm, rather than pulling on it, challenging it, you hold the arm and imagine.
Right.
Imagine the flow along that meridian. It's amazing how much that works. For you, like with the problem in your neck, if you pull on that, your body's gonna totally resist. But if you gently hold and imagine opening, right, the body can deal with that and it can test out to see what's safe, how far to go.
There's an old Chinese proverb, where the mind goes, energy flows.
How long do you need to spend doing this for it to be effective?
You can spend as little as 20 minutes or as long as you would like. These 6 stretches, they're easy, they're for everyone. From people who cannot get down on the floor to people who are very active athletes. And we've modified in the book a lot of different ways that it can be really for anybody at any age, at any condition. Once you learn them, you look at them and say, oh, it's bothering me here. Which one of these stretches could I do? And could I apply it even into other yoga postures or other things that I do to my body?
I love the addition of the videos. They're really helpful.
And those companion videos are listed on page, I believe it's 64. And anyone that buys the book, either the paperback or the ebook, will receive them.
Another thing too about the videos is that you get the verbal description of the meditation, of the mindfulness of following along the path. So you don't have to read it. you can listen to it. Another Chinese saying that maybe we can end on is, where there's flow, there's no pain. Where there's pain, there's no flow. That's what we're doing here.